What's up guys, I'm GamerMD83, and before I begin this awesome video, I wanted to quickly explain what it is exactly. The Bioware team at Edmonton working on the Dragon Age Keep contacted Ability Drain, Lady Insanity, Scottish Warrior 92, and myself to see the first reveal of the Dragon Age Keep planned for PAX Prime, which is going on right now. As you all might already know, the four of us have been in the Keep beta since the beginning, so before you see this footage, I just want to say that it has come a very long way. We've been using the Keep for a few months now, and they still managed to amaze us when we saw this new take on the Keep. It has definitely surpassed all my expectations and is quickly becoming something much more beneficial and practical for our Dragon Age Inquisition experience. So I just want to thank the team for giving us this opportunity to see this footage beforehand and share it with you all, since the majority of us can't make it to PAX. I also wanted to thank them for all the hard work and dedication they've put into this. Believe me, we noticed. Make sure to stick around after the presentation for a little Q&A session with the team and the four of us. So without further ado, here is the Dragon Age Keep.
Okay, so as you guys know, obviously choice is pretty important for our games, and one of the big things with the Dragon Age Keep is that we want the world that you shaped to be captured faithfully from the past experiences and reflected that in Dragon Age Inquisition, regardless of what platform and whether it's now for Inquisition or perhaps into the future. We also want to resolve a couple of previous challenges and limits of that we encountered with save file imports. That includes things like jumping to a new engine, obviously moving into new generation platforms. There's, as you guys are familiar, there's some past import data issues that we've had as well. And in general, just trying to future-proof the system so that this is something that if we are going to do a bit of a reset, we do it once and it's something that can last us for a long time. While the Keep is definitely more of a utility, we want to make sure that it doesn't feel like a tool. We want it to be something that anyone can use and that you can spend as little or as much time as you want on it. My personal hope is that when you go and do replay, planning out your playthroughs and going back and wanting to play any of the other games, that you don't feel like it's a chore to have to use the Keep to be able to either set up those worlds or to kind of discover things, plan out things that you wanted to go and discover in the past games that maybe you didn't realize were there. The Keep obviously is a website, you're familiar with that. It is being built and designed to look and feel like an app. That's so that it plays nicely with touch devices, which is a much more common way statistically when we look at traffic stats and so forth for how people are browsing these days, as well as things like companion experiences. It is available on any modern browser, virtually any platform, without any plugins or downloads. So that's very important in terms of making it accessible to as many people as possible. It is completely free, and it will be available to everyone before Dragon Age Inquisition ships, so everyone will have lots of time to be able to go in and play with it. Obviously, we've been fairly quiet about it. It is still a work in progress, but today we really wanted to show you where we're at, and specifically for PAX to give everyone a first look, if they're not on the beta, of how it works. And by the time we're done, I'm hoping that you'll have a better understanding of what to expect, how you're going to make those choices, and most importantly, how simple it is to get it into Dragon Age Inquisition. So let's go ahead and show some of the Keep. Obviously, everything starts with a login. Everything is tied to your Origin account. It is on consoles, it may be a little bit different than your Xbox Live or PlayStation Network account, but if you played recent Electronic Arts games or our previous Dragon Age games on a console, chances are you already have one of these. Because everything is tied to it, it's how the Keep talks to the game, so it's important that you pick the Origin account that you are going to be using for Dragon Age Inquisition. We have this confirmation page which we've introduced and we'll be rolling out as part of the beta, and we'll be live once we ship the Keep. One of the big things that we noticed with our past games, a lot of previous, in our previous games, is a lot of players don't necessarily realize that they sometimes have more than one Origin account. We also have single sign-on on the Keep, so if you're coming from another EA website, you could perhaps be on an account that you don't want to be using or isn't tied to Dragon Age Inquisition. So this is a good way for us to kind of just double check that you are indeed on the right account as you're about to use the keep and getting ready to play DAI. On the first visit, so if we go ahead and proceed through there, when you first land on the keep, the first thing that we're going to do is actually try to synchronize with the past game servers for Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. And this is basically trying to get an understanding of whether you played the past games, whether you have played some of the previous DLC, as well as trying to sync your record of accomplishments, what reward items, and obviously if we miss something you can troubleshoot it later on, but it's a good way to reinforce that you are also on the right account. We've introduced the item names, so for those that are on the beta, previously we just had the icons showing up, now it actually says what they are. Jeff's got a lot of things on his account. So again, this is the first time you do it. Subsequent logins won't actually go through this. They'll pick up what changes. If you've gone back and maybe you unlocked another achievement or something along those lines, it'll pick that up, but it won't go through this entire process unless you choose to do that. One of the other things is we try to pull across the previous heroes that you uploaded to us. So once it's done synchronizing your record, if you did upload heroes to either Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age 2, it'll recognize that and offer for you to pick one of those heroes. As you guys know, heroes are very integral to the story, and in particular, some of the attributes like their race or gender or class and their origin story makes a huge difference in terms of what kinds of choices are available. So this already recognizes the heroes that you've uploaded, as we can see here on Jeff's account for Dragon Age Origins. Maybe in this case we'll pick male dwarf noble. You guys probably see me on the forums, you know, I'm partial to that for some reason. Warrior. And then for DA2 we can maybe go with female mage hawk. Anyways, so if you have your heroes uploaded, it'll detect that and you can pick that. If you don't, or for some reason we couldn't sync them across, that's fine too. What will happen is we provide a list of pre-made ones that you can pick from. And again, the main thing to keep in mind is you're really taking into account their gender and their race and class and so forth. The next thing that we're going to show you is a brand new feature, which even our keepers haven't seen. It's something that we've been working in the background for quite some time. It's the much fabled play button. So this will actually already start to take into account some of the decisions that you're making, such as the heroes that you selected. It is very much in progress still. We still got a while to go on this. But essentially, when you finish the sync, you can now sit back, relax, and rediscover the key events of the past games through the ISS. For now, we're going to join it already mid-story, but obviously once it's launched, it will have all the key events from Origins and DA2. So hopefully the audio is working for this as well.
With the traitorous Logan now seated on Fernando's throne, the Warden sought help from the influential Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. However, they arrived in Redcliffe to find the town under siege. As each night, undead rose in waves and assailed the battered village.
Alright, so narrated by the one and only Brian Bloom, the voice of Varric. The ISS takes you on an animated journey through the key events of the Dragon Age series, leading up to Dragon Age Inquisition. So you can just sit back and watch it, or you can also choose to interrupt and make decisions along the way, such as here. And obviously those decisions will have a ripple effect.
Without lending aid to its people. A devastating attack followed. The Wardens reached Arl Eamon's castle only to find the Arl lying at the edge of death, and his court fallen to Penance. To save his father's life, Eamon's young son, Connor, had taken the demon with the demon, and quickly fallen victim to its possession. The hero of the being, freeing Connor from possession.
Alright.
I messed it up.
That's alright. So we're not going to spoil it too much. We'll exit that, and this will take you now to the tapestry. So the tapestry has been updated with all new color art, which is one of the big requests that we had from the beta testers. Beautiful, beautiful art, and it's very much got, obviously, the Dragon Age feel. I'm just watching your reactions.
Hi guys.
Good. I'm glad you guys like it. So really, for those that are looking for deep customization, this is really the place. The tapestry is where you're going to be able to make a very unique world of Thetis. It has over 300 choices from Origins and DA2, as well as the expansion and all the DLCs. It will also start to take into account some of the choices, such as the hero. So if we go into Dragon Age Origins, into the hero tile, you can see that it has our Dwarf Noble there, as well as the ISS choices. So if we go to Arla Redcliffe, for example, you will have recognized some of the choices made through the ISS on there as well. With the autosolver technology as well, you literally can make as few or as many choices on here as you want. The world is always valid and it's ready for import into DAI the minute that you make a decision. So for example, with Sten, if we didn't recruit him, so it will actually tell us that this is a problem and it conflicts with a different choice that you've made, and you can go ahead and choose to accept that, which will make the impact on the subsequent choices. Essentially writing the world so that you make sure that there's no conflicts in terms of the import there. The other thing is you are able to lock decisions as well. So for example, if I really wanted to have my female warden end with Alistair as on the throne of Ferelden, I can lock that and choose that answer. This will automatically, obviously is telling me that I have to change to a female character, and it'll pick one for me, as well as any other conflicts will get resolved. And now if I go to the hero choice and I try to change it back to a male character, for example, it would warn me that I have actually locked that choice and I need to first unlock it. And this is a way that you can protect things that are very important to you, such as particular endings or certain romance choices. The autosolver would do its best to work around it, and where it can't, it'll prompt you for how you'd like to solve those problems. Obviously, it's not meant to replace your experience in the game. The choices do provide some context as well. So for example, above each of the decisions, you can select the question mark icon. It's not meant to spoil anything. It is really just to try to jog your memory, but it is a good way to recall the past, and also to give you a chance to explore all the what-ifs around areas that maybe you didn't realize existed in the games, or decisions that you couldn't bring yourself to make as you were playing the game. You can explore those here and then see what the impact of that will be. It is still in progress, but right now over 200 of these choices will actually get imported into Dragon Age Inquisition in some form. Obviously some of those can be as simple as a very quick nod to the decision, and others will have much deeper repercussions, which we'll let you guys figure out. When you're done making those decisions, you can go to the World State Manager, and this is really where you're able to manage multiple worlds, each of them having unique choices. You can name these worlds. You'll see that we've introduced preview images as well. So it gives you a preview for some of the key decisions of Origins and DA2 for that world. You can actually share that with friends as well, and then they can take that world and either apply it into their Dragon Age Inquisition or make further changes before doing so. And then at this point, we would probably jump into, I don't know if we'll get a chance to jump into Dragon Age Inquisition live, but I can walk you through a little bit. Once you've exported into DAI here in the Keep, basically we'd fire up your game, and from the main menu, make sure that you're on the same Origin account as you're using here on the Keep. You would select New Game, and then as part of the New Game flow, you'll be prompted whether you would like to import your history from the Keep, and you say yes. And it really is just as simple as that. So that's basically it. So before you go, Again, I just wanted to pass on my thanks to everyone that's been a part of the beta program. The Keep is really made for you, for fans, so it made sense to have you directly involved as early as possible. The Keepers, as they call themselves, have been collaborating with us for months now, and really what you're seeing here today is an end result of that direct collaboration, their direct impact through their feedback. There's still a lot more to come, and you can still sign up to the Keep beta at dragonagekeep.com. Right now we do have over 100,000 applicants already. So again, we do apologize if we don't get you in right away, but the Keep will open its doors before Dragon Age Inquisition, so everyone will be able to play with it. I hope you enjoyed the demo, and we're happy to answer any questions. We'll kind of let this run out, and we'll turn on Skype and see how that goes. Anybody time that?
Just first impressions, both of obviously what you guys saw and in terms of color and stuff, and then obviously questions.
Color. It was
It's
so
pretty.
pretty.
So nice.
I wasn't expecting
was
it to be so
very-
vibrant. It was so
Very
cool.
pretty. Very impressed
It
with
was
the
just
colours.
like
Yeah, they're in your face. All the feels.
I kept on going. I was like, oh.
Oh, the feel.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the colour, very, very pretty. That's all I can say. It looked absolutely gorgeous. I'm a sucker for a good artist. And
Yeah,
very
love it.
much props to there. So
And the little
props
movie
to the...
thing. Really clever.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, the little movie thing. Oh
I
my
thought it might
god.
be something like that. I was like, what is that play button?
Yeah.
No,
I got
it's
spoiled
not
for that already, but that was... I'm so glad it came into
You
like
had
fruition.
spoilers?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
shit. Tell us.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you could have told us.
Blame Leah.
I heard you all wanted some Varric narrating, so
Yeah.
Varric could narrate the whole Inquisition game, and
Yeah.
I'd be happy.
I think Vera could narrate the
Please
Bible
tell us.
MD for you and you'd watch it.
Of course.
Yeah. As long as the chest hair's out. Constantly.
Yeah, so... Is Brian Bloom narrating like all of them? Like all the movie?
Yes.
yeah.
Nice.
the whole-
Wow.
That's very interesting. I did the play button. I was always wondering, like, is that just going to be a little short movie? And I was like, I don't want to speculate too much, but I thought it may have been that, and it looked absolutely brilliant. So I can't wait to see the final product for that. So
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, we're very excited about it. It's going to be really neat, and I think one of the really cool parts is when you actually share your world with someone, essentially that's what they're going to get first, is they will actually be able to play through it.
Oh, right.
And
Nice.
then they can access that and apply it into their tapestry. So you'll actually be able to share it with someone even outside of the Keep as well. Hopefully once we launch, fingers crossed,
Yeah.
more shortly.
Yeah.
shortly after.
oh, boy.
It's really hard. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Excited about it. It's coming along really, really well, and it's big. Like, I mean, what you guys saw was one decision
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
the cliff, and
Wow.
it doesn't cover all the decisions, obviously, but it covers the main beats of Origins and DA2. And yeah, it was actually written by the writers as well, so they did an awesome job with it. So
Yeah.
very happy with
Yeah.
it. Can't wait to show you guys the whole thing when it comes
That's
out.
exciting.
Can't wait to see it. And yeah, looks awesome. And also like the little thing at the end is you can even choose the choices that you couldn't bring yourself to choose because there's
Yeah.
plenty of those in the game. I'm like, I don't want to make the choice, but I kind of want to see what happens.
Yeah. The science.
So it all it all links through Origin then, the account.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I have a question actually that I've been getting a lot. It's people that don't have the internet, like people that don't have internet
Yeah.
access to transfer. I was surprised. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But people that don't have the internet access to transfer their imports, because people were like, "Okay, well, I could go to the library to use the internet, but then how do I transfer it to the Keep?" I guess it's just through the Origin account.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, on whatever they're playing Dragon Age Inquisition on, if it's their PC or a console, that has to connect to their Origin account. So you'll have a login, just like Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2 did, where you could log into your. I think at the time we called it a Bioware /EA account or something like that.
Yeah.
It's all the same account, but essentially it has to be able, the console or the PC has to be able to connect into that.
Okay.
And that's how it will then be able to get your data out of.
Right.
Okay.
Now it only does that for a little bit of time, but that's right now that's still a requirement. There's no way around that.
Technically, you could tether your phone for like 30 seconds and pull it down. And that would totally work.
Yeah. Or the person could just go the old-fashioned way, get a friend with the save, and just get a USB.
Yeah. I've seen people post a few of those questions on the forum, and I suspect we'll get some as part of the Q&A at PAX. The challenge is that, so for example, the one that I've seen the most is people being able to do their PlayStation updates through a USB stick or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But that's still a file that's been created by Sony as a protected file. And we can't generate those kinds of things outside of their platform. So it's literally impossible for us to create something like a save file or some other file that you could import into the device. Microsoft's the same way as well. PC, obviously, we could do that.
Yeah.
There's still the challenge of the game itself doesn't support them. But you may be able to, I suspect people find creative ways, as they've always done, through modding to the default world state. And I'm not opposed to, unofficially of course, it's easy for them to do something like that and maybe find a way to somehow link, export what they have in the Keep to something that a modder can then take and manipulate that file. But we wouldn't be able to directly go and do that.
With the little movie, is that something you guys done, or did you work with an external company to make that?
Yeah, it's done through an external company that we worked with before. Actually, they helped us out on Mass Effect, and they've done actually a lot of the art is all being done through another team that we work with, and it's being led from part of the team that we have at Bioware Montreal. But what we're calling the ISS, that movie, that is actually being done through an external company here in Edmonton as well.
Are you allowed to tell us who that is?
I can't imagine we could.
Yeah, it's called G Skinner.
G Skinner.
So probably, I mean, for now, I don't know that we'll put that out there, but certainly as we get closer to launch, I want to make sure that we call out the partners. And we're looking at actually doing something like a credits page as well in the Keep to make sure that we recognize all the people who helped us.
Yeah, because that's a lot of work put into that.
Oh yeah, they've done an awesome job with it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's pretty neat though the way it works with the autosolver tapestry, because they kind of built the HTML5 animation layer, so that whole thing was not a video, it's actually HTML5, so it'll work on mobile phones, on consoles. So it's really kind of cutting edge web stuff.
Yeah.
So they do all that, and then like the DA team did, like Mike and them, they did all the writing and the editing and the kind of Varric pass to make it fun for Varric. Brian Bloom. And then like the autosolver tech feeds into it, so you can make your choices and like you'll.
Sorry about that.
On the choices you're making, so it works a little bit more, I guess, linear in a sense. So the first time you come in, it's not as like crazy as the tapestry is, because I know we got a lot of feedback on, you know, when things change around and there's kind of no starting point. So really this will be a good starting point, and it sets a whole swack of the high level decisions. So when you come in, your little tower will be on fire versus not on fire if you helped Red Cliff or not. So that's it's been really neat to see. Yeah, and Justin and Jeremy did the majority of the work hooking it up to the tapestry, so you'll have to wave at him and because that was
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's. Oh,
I love, by the way, the little edit button. Like when you're watching, like, oh no, I didn't like that. I'm gonna go edit it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, even doing the before the new redesign, I already went through and the crime wave one with the slime Slime Criminal. I never encountered them in my entire playthroughs of Dragon Age, and I've put over 200 hours in that game. So
I don't know how you managed to miss it.
I know.
It's right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just did, but I went back and done a bit of research, and I was like, yeah, my warden would have done that, so I'm changing that. So yes, my warden did do that. So
In the beginning, where it was like reading all your achievements, when you said that it could pick up your warden or your hawk if you had linked them, if you do that, I was confused whether do you already start the keep with that warden and hawk, or do you have to start all over anyways?
No. That's basically the demo that we did is it picked up that you had heroes uploaded from Origins and DA2. And you can pick from which one of those you want as for your starting world state. Which one do you want as the hero for Origins and for D2? Mm-hmm. And that will already kick off a bunch of decisions based on male, female, those kinds of things for Origins, for example. And then when you go into the movie, as you're making decisions on there, that will further make decisions so that by the time you land in the tapestry, which is what Leah was talking about, hopefully your experience is already fairly customized compared to someone else. So out of the gate, by the time you hit the tapestry, hopefully most people won't have anything that looks alike already. And you can customize it further from there.
Okay, so technically you could just if people want to, if they just want to I'm going to choose this hero. I had linked it on Origin. I'm just going to choose it, watch the little video, and boom, go right into DAI if they want to.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So if you know exactly which one of your wardens you want and which one of your hawks you want, you can just select those two. You can use the movie as a refresher.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's how I left those key decisions, and as soon as you hit the tapestry, you can go to the world state, export it.
Cool.
Okay. One of the questions I had, I actually... Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, already the heroes selection may be making changes to the movie, so the movie will have to really reflect whether, for example, how things ended in Origins, like who's on the throne, maybe based on whether you picked a male or female warden, for example.
Okay.
Sorry, actually.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna ask. I actually asked Leah this before, but it was mainly on how, like, there are some people who have so many heroes, and it extends over the actual limit that Origin allows the cloud sync. So, is there any like resolution to that, as far as like if you go over the 2 gig limit, as far as like how many heroes you have and how many save files you have? Is there anything done yet?
So. The whole syncing process, as you guys know, is something that we're still working on.
Okay.
So I think maybe, Jeff, if you want to talk about kind of where that's at.
Yeah, essentially all the heroes that show up on the BSN right now, we are going to be syncing those over at some point. So those will show up. So people who kind of gamed the system and like deleted them off of the online storage and then uploaded new heroes and have like 200 now, those should all show up.
Okay.
Oh, so
okay.
To get them.
The idea is some of the management things that currently live in the legacy site, we will be bringing that across. So that's part of, I think, what's for some people that maybe what's causing them problems is that they're going back to BSN and managing it there, but then the warden or whatever still shows up on the keep. And that's because ultimately we want you to do everything on the keep. It's just those two are actually, there's 2 different storages, if you will, and until they're all one and the same, which is what we have to finish off, there's always going to be some of those inconsistencies in there, depending on whether you manage stuff on the BSN. But to Jeff's point, if you can get the hero to the BSN, that's usually the biggest hurdle. And that could be things like you had the developer console turned on the PC and all those kinds of challenges, or you didn't have the options set to upload those things to us. But if it shows up on the BSN, then all of that should come across the keep, because at that point, it's already on our side of the fence. Those are our servers, so we should be able to get to it once we finish up the rest of the work that's needed for that pipeline.
Okay.
I have a question for you guys.
Sorry.
How did the stream hold up? Was it a good quality for audio and video?
Yeah, the stream held up fine. It held up fine.
I think there was like one slight point where it went quiet, but beyond that, it was great.
Okay,
Yeah,
we made a local coffee too. Hopefully everything's
excellent.
on there. So if you kind of go through Leah or Fernando, they'll probably be able to send it to you, I would imagine. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for your help on that gun run.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Thank
you for letting us see it early.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's
thank you for
awesome.
that. Yeah, thank you.
The reaction's going to be from the other keepers.
I think they're gonna love it.
Yeah,
They're gonna go bonkers.
I know a couple of my subscribers who will be very excited by it. So I can definitely see they're going to like that.
With the concerns I've been hearing, what we just saw, it's gonna make them very happy.
Yeah. And we added lots of little things. I don't know if you noticed, like there's now separation between DAO, DA2. You can now preview your friend's shared world state. So I hope everyone notices. Like we go through and we're always like, I don't know, ask the keepers. Just post it on the forums. I just solve arguments that way.
There's also the little question mark thing that you've implemented. That's a nice little feature. I had to refresh my memory quite a lot going through my saves because it's been a while since I played through a Dragon Age.
I was using Wiki.
That's what I was using.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I was always concerned about. Like, what if I can't remember it? I have to go and look up all this stuff, but the question mark thing's a very welcome thing. I have had a few of my subscribers contact me and say about that, but I normally just ignore them because I'm like, I don't want to say anything about it because I don't know what I can say. So I know a few are going to be happy about that.
And the writers doing more. I think this week they're finishing up a pass on the existing ones just to make sure they're all as contexty as possible. Because obviously the Keep's not a replacement for playing DA, but it should certainly refresh your memory. So that's cool. So there's more updates to come. My goodness. Yeah.
So is this the beta that we're gonna be working on now?
Yeah.
Starting after PAX, right?
After PAX.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
We may not add the play button, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we still are working through a few bugs with G Skinner and Jeremy and Justin. So that one we might not unleash on the world yet. But other than that, you'll get all the colored art and images and all the new features, basically. So the heroes section is new because we didn't show you both heroes and career are also new and much prettier / have all kind of the little UI, UX improvements that people have been calling out. So it's nice to see those subtle tweaks come in and it looks and
we want to make
feels a
sure
lot
that
better.
we fix up the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But also, I think rather than trying to throw too many new things in there, we wanted to just get a week or two feedback on this revamp from the keepers and just make sure that there aren't any other issues that we haven't seen yet. And then once that's stable, we can add the movie back in, and there's more stuff coming as well. Which
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be sitting watching that movie the whole time.
Yeah.
It's so
what happens if I do
replay, play again.
People, you watch that Dragon Age movie, there you go, you got one.
It's nice. I'm hoping that will be a better onboarding for someone that also doesn't know or maybe missed out one of the games or has never played the previous games, than just landing them on the tapestry and asking them to read the context questions. Hopefully that will serve as a better introduction. The fact that it's custom to you, I think, is really as well.
I'm sure I'm not the only one here who constantly gets questions like, how did I get into Dragon Age? It's quite a long game. I'm like,
Go play it.
Just do it. Go play it. Just do it. But the tapestry does look like a very interesting way to introduce people who may not be familiar with the previous games, or maybe Inquisition is their first ever Dragon Age game. So that's very, very good job. Now I can definitely see a lot of people being happy, but I'm probably going to we're all probably going to still get that question every bloody day for the next year. So yeah.
You've probably noticed it takes a little bit of inspiration from what we did for Mass Effect as well.
Yeah.
The big change that we noticed is, I think, well, one, we added a lot more choices to it. It's a lot longer. Second one is that you don't have to make decisions. I think that was one of the things that a lot of people had called out, is that it keeps stopping you.
Yes.
And you're like, what do you want to do here? This or do you want this? Whereas to some extent, like, this is already going to be long enough, And rather than taking you out of that experience all the time, if you want, you can literally just, as we kind of did, put it up on a big screen and actually just watch it. And it's got to be 5 minutes long.
Oh, yeah. It's probably about 15 minutes.
It's on that yet.
Yeah, don't put that one in there.
But yeah, I think it'll be just nice even just to be able to do that. And if, you know, I've had times when you go back to play a game and it's been months and you don't really remember where you last left off. So it's another way that you could kind of just refresh. I don't necessarily want to make choices. I just want to remember, oh, this is what I'm expecting for the next one.
Yeah.
So I think it will cover a lot of those types of concerns that people raised already.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally surpassed my expectations.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't even. It's so much time and effort put into it. That's awesome.
I do like how the art, as I don't know if it was just me, but the art, the new art, the more colourful art, it definitely has a bit of style from the card art from Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah, the loading.
It is similar. Yeah,
and it's similar to like the loading screens from
Dragon Age 2.
Origins and Dragon Age 2.
Yeah.
Same sort of art style.
It's the little touches that I like the most, and those little ones.
Feels familiar,
yeah, makes me go, yes, this is Dragon Age. So I know plenty of people are going to be happy with that. So
yeah, I can't wait till you can look at it in person, because there's it was 4 artists working for almost 3 months to get this done.
Wow.
And it was really after our first round of feedback with you guys, and we somewhat killed the Alistair bug-ish area of feedback. And then it was like, well, we want more color, more music, more sound, more engaging, just more there.
Yeah.
And so we thought this was a really cool way that we could, give that to you guys. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I like that kind of art style, so I very much appreciate it. So, and I'm sure everyone here does, and I'm sure a lot of the subscribers that we have will pester us and about our opinions on it. Yeah, so I like the tarot card style. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting with the tarot card kind of style that's going with it.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the.
Yeah, and that's why that's just my pickup. I'm not a very artsy person, but that's at least my pickup. But so give major props to the art team. They did a fantastic job, and everyone else who worked on this. It looks fantastic, and I was very nervous about this. The idea of this kind of thing. I was like, how can you implement so many choices into this kind of thing without playing the game? But you have done above and beyond, and I think everyone can agree that you did an excellent job, and can't wait for the final product.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that.
Excited for Pakistan?
Yeah, no.
People at Pat. Yeah, I was just gonna say. Sorry, I tend to do that. You do go first.
I warned him. I was like, "Don't you talk over everyone. Be quiet." All I can say is, when people see that at PAX, they're going to be very happy. I can tell you that. There'll be plenty of squeeze.
I can't wait to hear him.
Yeah.
Is there any questions that you guys wanted to ask?
I think I already asked what I was. Feel to feel.
I'll probably
What's
think of those
next?
after this is done. Yeah,
we're gonna think of a bunch of them afterwards.
Yeah.
You
did it. Distract. I'm sorry, Glash.
No, I was gonna say, any upcoming features that are gonna be implemented into Keep other than the play button?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Can you hint at some?
Music.
Music would be a nice touch, but I know plenty of people wouldn't like that.
Well, certainly the next one will be the movie player. There's still one other feature we haven't introduced yet and we're working on is we still don't have a good way to show the breadth of the IP. So we have things like novels, comic books, and all those kinds of things that do directly tie into the story. So there is a section called World Lore that we're still working on.
Oh, right.
I was actually going to ask that. I was like, well, probably not. I was going to ask the whole lore thing. Is it going to be like a lore site?
Yeah. Did you read the books? Yes or no?
That's awesome.
So the biggest part is we want to get some of the more challenging features programmatically to kind of get that out of the way. And starting now, as you're seeing, we're starting to add more polish to those things. Those were the ones that we know we wanted to have for sure, by launch time. We needed to have these in there. So now we're starting to get towards other features that I think add more years. But there's nothing stopping us if we needed to launch them a couple weeks after launch or DAI or something along those lines and roll on these features. So we're kind of in a better place now with that. But that would be probably the next one that we would look at, is starting to tie in some of the other IP items, the ancillary products and those kinds of things.
It should keep people happy because we also get questions like, what do you think about this? And the people ask if the spoilers not in the book, so having a little section in the tapestry and the keep will be nice to for people. Right, go there. You can just go there and there you'll find it. So.
No, but the number one thing is we wanted to make sure that we would help people to come from Origins DA2 or having not played the previous games and be able to get into DAI with the world that they want. I think we're essentially there. We still have, I think there's still some outstanding requests of a couple of items and there's still some work.
Yeah, locking down the plot.
But functionality-wise, it's there.
Yeah.
And it's actually, I don't know if you guys seen on the forum, Alan's now been importing the state.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Did you save the Phoenix and the Nugs?
Actually, the DAI team on the QA side, they're certainly using the internal version of the Keep to prep all their playthroughs, so that we try to get as much coverage of things going.
Cool.
So the next step is really looking at now bringing more of the franchise pieces into that. There's again, there's this lore section, and there's a few other things as well. True, actually, so the general plan would be for us to roll out a month ahead, or roughly a month, give or take. We'll work out the exact timing, but we're aiming for sometime about a month before Dragon Age Inquisition comes out, and then we will do an update, essentially a site refresh when DAI ships, with all of the actual DAI content as well. So one of the big things is we don't want to spoil, obviously, anything that's in DAI itself. So we want to make sure that none of that actually lives, even on the beta site. But certainly as we get, as DAI ships, we'll do a big refresh with a whole bunch of new content. The features would be the same, but we'll now add additional content that DAI talks to.
Good. Yeah, well.
It's a plan.
I think that.
So we got a few months left,
Yeah.
so we'll make sure.
They all
Plenty of time.
They all have fancy microphones. What are they? What are the microphones you guys are using?
Blue Yeti.
I'm using a snowball.
It's a Shure microphone. I forget, PG something.
I'm using a snowball. I'll be upgrading to Yeti once I can afford it.
No, cool. Again, I really appreciate your time
Yeah.
and your patience in terms of getting this set up.
No,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for showing.
Totally appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Thank you. I think I always appreciate that. So thank you.
And again, very, very happy to hear your feedback and that we're still on the right track with these things. So next step is we're looking forward to PAX. Obviously, if you guys have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach us, either myself or Leah directly.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you do have questions from your followers or anything like that, if you want us to, we can answer those just like
jump in, answer
before.
them. Yeah, easy.
Happy to.
Awesome.
Or even from others in the game team,
Yeah.
the dev team as well. If you guys have specific questions on some of the features or something along those lines, we're happy to give them a few minutes away from their keyboards.
Unlock the ball and chains.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Those never come up.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. That's awesome. Thank you.
I hope it was fun, and
Very fun.
we'll see you down at PAX as well. It'd be great meeting you in person. And then if there's anything we can help.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Cheers.
Thank
See you,
you.
Pax.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.